December is going to be a relatively bearish month for the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. I'm going to explain some of the potential rallies that we could see, the corrective tone that I believe that we're going to take, and why I think that quarter one of 2024 is going to be the single most bullish quarter that we have seen in a very long time. So let's get started with some history. In June of this year, BlackRock decided to announce that they were going to be seeking approval for a Bitcoin ETF, and we saw a massive rally on Bitcoin. Within just a couple of days, Bitcoin had rallied well over $5,000, but then the reality started to set in that this is just them seeking approval. It hasn't actually happened yet, and so Bitcoin dropped all the way back down to $25,000, and then you fast forward to a fateful day where a intern or somebody at Cointelegraph got fired because they posted something on Twitter saying that that ETF had been approved. It had not, but nevertheless, in 8 minutes, Bitcoin managed to rally $2,000 and showed the market that when that ETF does almost inevitably get approved, BlackRock has a 99.8% chance of getting it approved. They've had 670 odd ETFs approved, one denied in their entire history. When that BlackRock Bitcoin ETF does get approved, either this round or in another round after Gary Gensler has kicked the bucket and gotten out of the office, then we're going to see a major rally on Bitcoin. We're going to see a major rally very, very quickly. And so the reason that that's so important is because after that Cointelegraph story, we saw a massive rally, and right now we're at $37,000. Well, many people are expecting that we're just going to rally straight back to all-time high from here, and while I do think that we're going to have a parabolic run after we get to probably 45 or 50 all the way back to all-time high and just instantly shoot up there, I don't think we're there yet. And that brings me to this month and what I think is going to happen this month, and then we'll talk about what I think is going to happen in quarter one of this coming year. Well, the very first thing that I want to talk about is that there is a possibility of a small rally. We very well may see a small rally up to $39,000 to $41,000. Those numbers come from our Fibonacci golden pocket on the chart of Bitcoin, where we draw Fibonacci retracement from all-time high at $69,000 all the way down to bear market bottom at $15,500. That golden pocket sits between 0.618 and 0.65 on Fibonacci, and historically, whenever you see a market recovering back to a high, it almost always stops for gas right there in that golden pocket. That happened plenty of times during 2018, happened some during 2019. You can look back in the stock market, it's going to show up. You can look back even further into Bitcoin and into other cryptocurrencies, and it's going to show up. Very often, that's where Bitcoin is going to find resistance. Right now, we're not quite at 0.618, we're at about 0.57, and so we're not far away. 0.618 to 0.65 is between $39,000 and $41,000. So there is a possibility that's similar to how we saw in January of this year, where we saw a major rally, followed by a small correction, followed by a small rally, followed by a major correction that made this kind of M shape happen in the market. We very well may see something happen again to that effect here. We've rallied $15,000. We very well may see about $13,000. We very well may see a couple $1,000 correction. We've already seen one from 38 down to 35, so maybe that was it. We may see one final rally up to 39 to 41 before going through a larger correction, but many different technical indicators are, well, indicating that we're going to see some bearishness coming in December, and that may show itself as sideways action and just a lack of bullishness, or it could show itself as an actual drop. And those are the two scenarios that I want to paint, with keeping in mind that we could see one final little pump up to 41 at the highest, and then some of that bearishness will come in. Two scenarios: sideways looks a little bit something like Bitcoin just kind of ranging in the 30 to 40 region, probably in the high 30 region for the first bit, the bottom of the 30 region for the second bit. The more bearish scenario is that if we actually do rally up to 41, you would probably see a little bit of a blow off top followed by a drop all the way down to potentially as low as 30,000 to 31,800. Why? Where are those numbers coming from? I want to back up everything I'm saying here with evidence and historicity of technical analysis, as I say in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. The reason I say those two numbers between 30 to 31.8 is that 31.8 is the yearly high that we set before this entire rally. We set that high on July 15th or so, right around when the XRP case was settled. Had a pretty big blow off top, rallied to 31.8, crashed from there. So it's a reasonable level. And $30,000 because it is a big even, and also because it would represent a 25% correction from $40,000. So far this year, we've had 3 major drops. Each one of them have been between 20 and 25% in size. A 20% correction from $40,000 would be $32,000. A 25% correction from $40,000 would be $30,000. So there is that possibility, although I'm not totally convinced that it's going to happen, that we rally up to 39 to 41 first, and from there we could have a drop as low as 30 to 31.8, which would be in keeping with the pattern that's already played out 3 times this year. Major multi-$1,000 rally between $8,000 and $13,000 in size, and then a correction that is roughly 20 to 25% in depth. Now, why might we expect that to happen? I don't know why the garbage trucks are always out driving around our neighborhood whenever I am shooting content, but they are. Now, the reasons that I think that this is going to happen, we've got quite a lot of evidence that there's going to be some bearishness coming in December. First and foremost, front and center, we had a massive rally last month, in the month of November. It's not December yet, so this month, in the month of November. Huge rally, $13,000 rally, largest rally that Bitcoin has seen in well over 2 years. So with Bitcoin seeing a rally that large, it stands to reason that you're going to need to have a little bit of a correction. As if you were to run a marathon, you're going to need to take some time to rest after you cross that finish line. You're probably not going to go and run 10 miles the next day. You're probably going to take a little bit of time to catch your breath. That's not to say that you're not a strong runner. It is to say that, as with any sport, you've got to take some time to recover, in Bitcoin and the bulls are a little bit like that. So that's the first reason that we are looking for some corrective movement in November or in December, is because we've already seen so much bullish movement over the last 45 days. Second reason, we have the histogram dropping on MACD. If you watched the stream this morning, then you will have seen my teaching on MACD. The thing you want to be looking for on MACD is not the crosses so much as the reversal in the direction of the histogram. And about 3 weeks ago, the histogram started going down on the 3 daily chart, which is, I think, the time frame you want to be looking at here. Same thing's true on the weekly chart. The histogram started going down, indicating a convergence of the MACD lines, which tells us, and I know this is getting kind of technical, no pun intended, but the reason that this is important is because MACD's reversal in the direction of the histogram, i.e. moving from divergence to convergence or convergence to divergence, signals a shift in the strength of the bulls and the bears. It signals that the bears are getting stronger or the bulls are getting weaker, or both. That's the signal we're getting from MACD right now. RSI has also got some massive bearish RSI divergence, and you've also already hit the price targets on Lux Algo. So Bitcoin's looking like it needs a little bit of a correction. All right, now what does quarter 1 of 2023 look like? Quarter 1 of 2023 is looking to be very bullish, and I want to end on this note because a lot of times people call me perma bear, or, oh my gosh, Jeb, you're flip-flopping, you're so bearish. This is the exact same scenario that I've been painting for a month. A potential rally up to 39 to 41 with an overall bearish theme. That is the exact same that I've been painting for since about the very end of October, about Halloween. So what do we see happen after this phase of the market plays out? This will be the 4th rally correction cycle that we've seen so far this year, and when this corrective cycle ends, which will probably end right around Christmas time, moving into January, then you're going to see the next bullish cycle. This cycle, we saw a $13,000 rally. The cycle before that, we saw about a $6,000 rally. We will drop and correct at the lowest, in my opinion, to 30. And from there, I would not be at all surprised to see Bitcoin rally to at least 41 and then push a little bit higher. I think moving into quarter 1 of next year, you're going to be seeing Bitcoin trading between $40,000 and $50,000 at that next cycle top. This cycle is basically topped out. 38's our current top. 41 might end up being the eventual top, but if not, then 38 will be our top. Come this next cycle, because again, remember, we've got about a 3-month cycle going on here. We have a rally for a month, correction for 2 months, although the rally is way faster, so on the chart it just looks like stair step. In January, after we've had the month of December to correct, and maybe even the beginning of the month of January to correct, you're going to have so much built up exuberance in Bitcoin and in the altcoins that any bullish news that comes out, and there's a lot on the horizon. By the way, we've got ETF approval deadlines coming up in quarter 1. Don't forget that. We're looking at all kinds of catalysts that could be coming up in the news. Could be anything. Could be an ETF approval. You're going back to all-time high in quarter 1 or quarter 2 if that happens. Could be the exuberance around the interest rates plateauing over at the Fed, which could lead to a massive rally on the stock market, drop on the Dixie, and that convergence, that correlation that we've talked about before could send Bitcoin into a massive run. Whatever it is, something fundamental will probably occur in January. And when it does, you're going to see the next major run. We saw the last major run in the end of October, early November. The next one's coming up in January, February territory, and you're going to be seeing the high of that run between $41,000 and $50,000. After that, you only need one more run to get back to all-time high. If you're not investing right now, I would highly encourage you to invest in two things. Number one, in cryptocurrencies, but number two, in an education. The Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy is the place to do it. We have taught over 5,000 students how to do the technical analysis that you heard me talking about in this video on markets so that they can predict where those markets are going and make some money in said markets. So make sure that you sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, get access to over 40 videos and over 10 hours of teaching that has helped literally thousands of students to achieve financial sovereignty and get to the state of financial peace and abundance that they are in now because of an education in technical analysis using coupon code CYBER2023. That will only be active until the end of Tuesday, so you don't have long. Check the link down below. And also don't forget Lux Algo's on sale for the rest of the day, so make sure to get that 55% off on annual plan while you still can. Like the video if you enjoyed the video. It helps us boost it. It helps boost this video in the algorithm if you think more people should see it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the post notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.